I think you guys will enjoy this. At least I know you'll enjoy this, Rico.
Let's do it.
A new agency will oversee Virginia's medical marijuana program in the new year. That's right. 2024 is just days away, you guys, and the new year means a few new laws for Virginians. One change, a new agency will soon oversee the Commonwealth's medical marijuana program. In quotes, there are tens of thousands of patients in Virginia, and there is a lot of product going out the door, said Virginia Cannabis Control Authority acting head Jeremy Priest. The Virginia Board of Pharmacy currently oversees the state's medical marijuana program, but stating January 1st, a new law taking effect will move that responsibility to the Virginia Cannabis Control Authority, in quotes. We have been investing in staff for the medical cannabis program, and we have been investing in technology, Priest said. Lawmakers created the CCA back in 2021 as the government's expert resource on public health and cannabis, and in just a few days, Priest said the CCA will make sure the medical marijuana program is running smoothly. In quotes, ensure that patients in the medical cannabis program have access to safe regulated products, and Priest said will be administering the regulations, enforcing the regulations in the medical cannabis program on medical cannabis providers. Of course they're going to be enforcing. And Priest said patients, providers, and medical cannabis companies shouldn't face challenges with the switch. In quotes, he says, we have been working with all these groups to ensure there is as smooth of a transition as possible, Priest said. But he also said his team will enhance the program, a big priority, getting a seed-to-sale software to track medical cannabis from cultivation to sale at a medical dispensary. It's something Priest said other states have. In quotes, this is important because it guards against the diversion of medical cannabis to illicit ends, to illicit markets, Priest said. It ensures that illicit, unregulated products don't enter the medical cannabis program. Obviously, he hasn't been to any of these states to see how that actually works, but nonetheless, Priest also said the CCA will also work to get closer medical cannabis provider to people living in the Shenandoah Valley, Charlottesville area. And in quotes, they also
Shenandoah.
Shenandoah. Thank you. I knew you were going to do that, Rico. Very much appreciated. Shenandoah Valley, Charlottesville area. Right now, patients in that area, if they want medical cannabis, they have to travel some distance outside that health service area, Priest said, or they could just drive to Maryland. Columbia Care Incorporated is the medical cannabis provider for the Hampton Roads area. 13 News now reached out to a spokesperson with the company to see what they think of the Virginia Cannabis Control Authority overseeing the medical cannabis program soon, and we are waiting to hear back from them. Well, Rico. Virginia got a new regulator coming into town starting on Monday. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this, Rico? It's your home state.
Yeah, I mean, they're creating their own like version of the DCC. I'm very interested in what Dr. T thinks about this one. I'm a little torn. Like, I kind of think that, the medical should stay medical and recreational adult use should be a totally different lane there. If you are legally viewing cannabis as medicine or just as a enjoyable substance, we know differently, but what do you think about that, Dr. T? Should you have like different regulative bodies for adult use and medical?
It's an interesting question. I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you the right answer because it really brings up, from my perspective, all use is medical.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to have the split doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know what the benefits are of having one group regulating one type of use and another group regulating another type of use. The regulators are there to make sure that the products are safe, so that folks can buy it without any issues. That's really the basic reason for regulating. How does that work? We'll see. I know we've had lots of issues in California with our DCC and regulations and really not understanding, what the industry was like beforehand and trying to add regulations that put problems to the industry. So I'm wondering if Virginia is going to have the same issue. And what are they doing now? Who's regulating them now?
the Pharmacy Board of Virginia. So yeah, so I mean, I just think it's like interesting because you can have I don't know. We had Lori Ajax with our first leader, and she was a executive from the alcohol industry, and a lot of people, a lot of states are choosing people that might have been successful in other businesses or other industries that were not cannabis, and they're putting them in place, and they're all. It's the blind leading the blind. They're all failing. So I think it would be, it'd be interesting if you actually have somebody who views cannabis as medicine, or you have somebody who's used to running the pharmacies, see how the state would be run on the adult use side from somebody who actually views it as medicine and not as a selling liquor.
It's a difficult problem, and FDA is normally the one that handles this, but they can't because it's not federally legal. And so each state essentially is trying to make a little mini FDA for the cannabis industry, and not really understanding the product much to begin with, and how it's helpful, and not really having the expertise to be an FDA. And if the FDA did try to regulate it, they'd have problems too, because they don't regulate botanical products very well. So I see problems on a lot of sides of this.
Now, another big problem too, Dr. T, is a story Dale covered yesterday. You'll find this super interesting since you're bringing up the FDA. Is the FDA is going after a company that made their vape pens similar to Jack Daniel's bottles and is saying that is advertising to kids, Dr. T. The FDA is stepping in to say that those those vape pens that are designed to look like alcohol bottles are advertising to children. Do you believe that?
I kind of want one though, dude. Did you see the pictures?
I mean, we definitely have to get one, bro. Those are getting ready to get banned. That's just going to increase their value.
Exclusive.
Yeah, that new drop. I mean,
since when were Jack Daniel's bottles attractive to kids? I don't.
Right. According to the FDA, it is.
The FDA said.
Yeah, FDA says. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure that they have a lot of credibility or whatnot, but nonetheless, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, I don't trust the FDA.
Don't trust the FDA for anything. See. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Elise, on that. And I don't trust a lot of them. They're just going to say whatever they want to say, and that's the way that.
Well, they've definitely had problems with pharmaceuticals, right? There are pharmaceuticals that they have approved that they, no longer approve anymore. How about the cold medicine that was taken off the shelves after years, of being approved?
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. How many people are working at FDA? Like 6?
No, there's a lot of bureaucrats that have been there for a very long time that don't have any intention of leaving.
But there's really not as many as you would think at the actual FDA, and I didn't know that until very, very recently, like how understaffed they are. And I very, very seldom, have the back of any government agency, especially federal government agency. But I was like, yo, they have hardly anybody in their agency, and they keep on getting gutted. So I don't see much changing the FDA anytime soon. Compared to all these other agencies, I'm
all for gutting them.
They're way more important.
I'm all for gutting them, bro. I'm all for gutting them. Debone them like a fish. Just get all the guts out of there. Just drop the FDA there. We got no use for them.
I'm down with getting rid of all of them, but I'm down to get rid of the other ones before the FDA. How about the DEA? Getting rid of them before you get rid of the FDA or the FBI or the CIA, because we actually have stuff that we can pin on them. Plenty of stuff, including. I don't know if we can say this on air, the assassination of a few ex-presidents, but that can be pinned. That can be actually pinned to some of these agencies. The FDA has done some good work, not all good, but they have actually done some good work. So I would argue that I would keep them before getting rid of some of the other ones. But yeah, like you said, Jason, death to all the alphabet boys.
Death to them.
Drop them all.
Drop them all. Drop them all. All right, I'm going to go into my last.
Well, and I think that.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Please go ahead, Elise. Please.
Well, I was just going to say, I think the FDA is, run by lobbyists and other control groups like a lot of our country is, and so that's why I don't trust them,
Yep.
dairy industry and a lot more on the food side. I'm not even speaking about cannabis, but I haven't trusted the FDA when it comes to food or medicine for most of my life, and that's just going a more holistic path in general.
Exactly. Your weed is safer than your food because your weed is more rigorously tested than any food product that you consume. That part. Exactly. All right, you guys, here we go. The last story of the day.